Me, I know this may sound a bit apprehensive, but hear me out. It might be a good idea to consider spreading your funds across different banks, just in case something sudden happens.
Tell me about it. But thankfully, it's not all gloomy. There are other ways to preserve and build wealth in Africa.
Okay, let's talk about what we can do. These are our impactful action points for positive change.
First, we have to maintain a survival mindset in wealth building. Longevity tends to win over rapid expansion. Entrepreneurs who stay wealthy usually avoid catastrophic risks. That means managing debt prudently by keeping debt low relative to your assets and building buffers like cash reserves or insurance to ride out downturns. The successful Kenyan business family, the Chandarias, are a great example of how to preserve and grow wealth with cautious optimism and the fear of going out of business. The Chandarias teach a valuable lesson. Staying wealthy sometimes requires you to play defense rather than offense because not every opportunity must be chased, especially if it threatens the core stability of your enterprise.
A wise man once said, in order to win, you must first survive. And he's spot on. If we don't prioritize survival, winning won't even be on the table. So, what's the next impactful action point?
The next point has to be the diversification of assets and income streams. Smart diversification across industries, asset classes, and geographies can protect individuals or companies from Africa's volatility. Successful business families in Africa have been known to branch into multiple sectors so that downturns in one sector can be offset by others. Keeping some wealth in tangible assets that hold value like real estate or commodities like gold or agricultural land, provides a hedge against inflation and currency dips. Many African tycoons invest heavily in property for this reason. On top of that, a growing strategy has been to hold wealth in different currencies or offshore accounts. By spreading investments between local and international markets, individuals and companies mitigate the risk that a local currency crash or capital control will erase their fortune. So the main principle for this impactful action point is don't put all your eggs in one basket if you want to build and preserve wealth in Africa.
So how do you start on the wealth preservation journey?
The first and most sure thing is learning how to become much better savers. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, who are our favorite investors at this point, have consistently emphasized the importance of saving first and investing intelligently second as the keys to building wealth over time. In Kenya, our gross savings rate, which is our national saving as a percentage of GDP, has hovered around 12 to 14% in recent years, which is half the average of all low-income countries, which is around 26%. Kenya is even below its neighbors Tanzania and Uganda, which have savings rates of over 20%. Africa as a whole has an average gross savings rate of around 17% of GDP, which is still far below other regions like East Asia. This is unacceptable, since it is clear that we need to save in order to build and preserve wealth. However, there are certain realities on the ground that make this make a little bit more sense. Specifically, I'm talking about the cost of living. Now, the cost of living over the last few years has grown so much that it has outpaced income growth for most categories of income earners in Kenya and Africa as a whole. So tackling this cost of living crisis is critical if we are going to build our savings rate as a society and build and preserve wealth in a much more effective way.
Hey, if you like that video, click somewhere to the right of your screen to watch the full unfiltered version. All the best and thank you.